promptness of a Buster Posey. You got to love it. In a world where nobody's on time, Buster's always on time. You got to love it. So let's get right into it. Our first chance to talk to Buster since October 22nd, when Tony Vitello was hired as manager or had his press conference as manager. And then we kind of let Buster go to work all off season. Now we get to catch up. We'll be down there next week. But first, let's get a preview phone conversation. First of all, Buster, welcome back to Murph and Marcus. And how you doing, man?
Hey, morning, Buster.
Good morning. Doing great. We're day 3 of pitchers and catchers down here, so we're rocking and rolling. We got I think a little bit warmer weather than what's in the Bay Area right now, so it's nice to have some sunshine and warm air.
Let me ask you a non-baseball question. You're a very prompt guy in our experience. Does this cause problems in your life because you're the only guy who's on time and nobody else is?
No, Kristen's kind of the same. I think the only one who struggles with it is our 14-year-old son. So we're hoping he'll grow out of that a little bit.
How about Tony V? Is he showing up on time?
Oh yeah, he's ready to go. I mean, Ron Washington I think beats everybody to the building, but no, it's good. It's been fun to see these guys out. Obviously, there's not a ton going on right now. Just with bullpens and a few position players here getting some work in. But it's always great to hear the sounds, the ball coming off the bat a little bit, the catcher's mitts popping. So all is well.
Yeah, well, I did see Tony Vitello was a few minutes late to his first media scrum because he was rambling on, as he put it, to the team. So let's start there, Buster. What was your first takeaway from seeing Tony's first interaction with the teams with pitchers and catchers reporting?
Well, I mean, I think I knew early on. You can kind of tell. You could tell before, or I could tell before even really getting to know Tony a little bit. That he's a talented speaker, and his self-deprecation of rambling certainly did not feel like it was rambling. But he's good. He's very engaging. He gets his points across well. He'll mix in a little bit of humor. Again, some self-deprecation in there, but. You can tell he's the type of leader that has a vision of the way that he wants things to go, but at the same time, he's talked about this a lot, that he wants our players to be themselves and get the most out of themselves, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, we enjoy him on the radio for sure, and obviously then fans are like, oh, does that translate? One of the things we've been sort of touching on in the offseason is whether it's Harrison Bader or whether it's Tony V, like adding guys maybe with a little bit of an edge. I wanted to address that with you. Like, is it your desire to have a team that's a little edgy, maybe not making friends? Tony V gave us a quote saying, I want teams to be uncomfortable when they play us. Is that part of your overall plan for the team? Is that the kind of team you want?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, I think it's important too. Is like that stuff has to happen naturally, right? That's not something that you can just manifest. You have to have certain personalities. Starts with leadership, and Tony talks about it a lot too. As cliched as it is about the importance of team play, and I do think when you bond well as a team, sometimes that does create an edge. It's us against the world type of mentality, and I got to play on some teams that were always considered the underdogs. Within the clubhouse, we felt, and it was proven that we were really talented. But you're always looking for certain things you can use and latch onto that gives you a little bit of an edge. Because it's important. It's important to be able to go out and it's 162 games. You gotta have something that keeps you going throughout the year.
Buster, how does that mindset and mentality translate to the game of baseball? Is it more of an aggressive approach at the plate, on the base pass? How does that translate for Tony Vitello?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it translates for him. I think like what you guys said earlier about it being uncomfortable, that was a thought that I had as a player and one that I'd love to see. I felt like we actually did a pretty good job. We had our lulls last year, no doubt. I think if we could have come out of those lulls quicker than we did, we would have been in a better position. But for me, I want the opposing team, win or lose, you want them to feel it, or like you said, Tony said, uncomfortable. When they come into San Francisco, or we're coming into their city, you want them to know it's like, man, we're in for a dogfight right now with these guys. We know that there's, no matter what it is, we're gonna have to play this game out. And I've seen teams when I was playing that if you jump on them early, they'll kind of roll over. That's the opposite of what we want to be.
I say this only sort of half joking, but are you going to have to put a limit on Willie Adamas's pregame hugs then?
Hey, again, you got to let guys be themselves.
Right.
So there's always a balance in things.
Right. He's like the one guy you got to let Willie be Willie. Okay, so then I can hear the fans now. Yeah, well, great. What about the players? Who are the players? Who are the players, right? Because we can talk about themes for only so long. Then you got to actually play the game. So you're off season, Buster. I think it's fair to say there was no gigantic move a la trading for Rafi Devers, signing Willie Adames. Those were gigantic moves. Adrian Hauser, Tyler Mahle, all due respect to those guys. Harrison Bader, Luis Ariz, all due respect to those guys. I don't think any Giants fans thought that there was a signature blockbuster move. At least that's the feedback we're getting here at the Sports Leader. So what's your view? Did you guys make enough signature blockbuster moves, or were you thinking, I don't need to make a signature blockbuster move? In other words, is it okay you didn't make a blockbuster move?
Yeah, well, first I'll start off, defending those guys you talked about, because I think they're all great big leaguers. I mean, you don't stay in the league as long as they have without being great big leaguers. So everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So we feel like we really got better defensively with Harrison in center. He made some big strides offensively. Haven't talked to him. I think there's staying power there. Luis Ariz, 3 batting titles by age 28. We know that he's got his work to do at second base. I was watching him 20 minutes ago out there with Ron Washington, so he's already, getting all that off the ground and running. And it's kind of same Hauser, similar thoughts for me as Bader. Is there was a bit of some tweaks and changes he's made, so we're really excited about having him in the rotation. And Mahle, the big thing is for him, his body to be in a good spot. I mean, the first 2 months of the season last year, he was about as good as it gets out there, and then unfortunately was injured. So, look, I get it, right? I mean, from a fan's perspective, they want us to go out and sign every marquee free agent. That sounds great in theory, but that's not reality. So we're happy with the group that we have, and certainly feel like that we've got the talent on this team to go out and win a lot of ball games. That's what makes sports great, and our sport, I think, more so than any other, people love numbers and projections, but ultimately, until we step on that field and see how things play out, nobody really knows.
Buster, focusing on the Luis Ariz signing, I think some Giants fans were a bit surprised that he was even available this late into free agency. And this might sound like a crazy question, but in today's day and age of baseball, it seems like he's not the modern type of baseball player, but it also seems like you're trending in a direction where you're trying to focus on more high-contact bat-the-ball skills. So would you say that maybe you guys in your organization values a skill set like Luis Ariz more than other organizations around the league?
I don't know. I don't know how other organizations value it. We certainly value it, but at the same time, I think when you're looking at any player, you're trying to, estimate how they're going to fit into your lineup. And with some of the other bats in our lineup, we've got big homer guys in Adames and Devers and Chapman, and I think Ramos is going to be one of those guys as well. So you balance that out a little bit with a guy like Ariz, a little bit more bat to ball. It fits really well. And I got a chance to play against him and have watched him now for a long time. And he's a pest. I mean, he's one of those guys that just you don't really, at least being on the other side, you don't want to see him come up. Like the worst case scenario to me is runner on third with less than 2 outs, because most likely you're not going to get a strikeout. And the bat control is so good that you feel like he's going to find a way to either, get the runner in with a base hit or do something, make a productive out. So we're really excited about him. same with Bader. As I alluded to already, kind of some of that confidence he's going to bring out there in the outfield, we think is going to play really well as Ramos continues to develop. And by all accounts, I want to say that I just keep hearing report after report how hard he's been working defensively this offseason. And same goes with John Hughes. So always, I get it, rosy tinted lenses this time of year, but they should be.
I know, right? That's the whole point. We're going to come down. Nobody's going to be in a bad mood. Buster Posey's a voice you hear on the UMA guest line, kind enough to hop on from Scottsdale, where Marcus and I will be next Thursday and Friday, giving you those traditional preseason broadcasts. And then, of course, the first Giants broadcast is Saturday, a week from Saturday, Dwayne Kuiper and John Miller, Giants, Mariners, and Peoria. And then the very next day, the Giants will be at Scottsdale Stadium, also on The Sports Leader. One more bit of business. You're listening to KNBR AM and KNBR FM San Francisco, The Sports Leader, a Cumulus media station. Buster, you are an icon in the city because you caught a pitch from Brian Wilson in 2010. You caught a pitch from Sergio Romo in 2012 and a pitch from, Madison Bumgarner as a reliever in 2014. That's my way of setting up the bullpen question, because you closed out 3 World Series with quote-unquote, I'm counting Bum as a bullpen guy there. And so people are saying, wait, how could a guy like Buster Posey, who knows the value of the bullpen, go into a season not really knowing his bullpen setup? I saw you say in an interview, there's opportunity for guys. And that sounds good, but is there also worry that there's not enough definition out there?
Well, I think bullpen's one of the spots on a roster that can really take shape quickly, and it can really change quickly too. I mean, I don't think that's just related to us. I mean, you look around baseball historically, and how many relievers have been able to sustain being an elite bullpen arm. It's a hard thing to do, right? I mean, it's a volatile position. We're really excited about Ryan Walker's bounce back. Guerrero took a big step forward last year, having a healthy Eric Miller. Some of these guys that logged a good amount of innings. I mean, Bivens probably unheralded with 80 innings last year. And then we've got some non-roster invites, some internal guys that we're going to take a look at. And again, nobody really knows. I'm not going to sit here and say, going into this season that you could say the Giants are going to have a top 5 bullpen in the game. But also on the flip side of it, I think it's completely realistic too. Just again, like I said, because of some of the unknowns and volatility of that position on a roster. So I think competition's good. I think competition brings out the best in people. And would we love to have a Romo and Casilla and Lopez and Afel quartet? Hopefully, I'm not leaving somebody out there that I shouldn't be. Yes, of course, every team would. But again, part of sports is the fun of it. To me, is watching people blossom into great players.
So is it safe to say then going into the season, or I guess I should phrase it like this, would you say that there are any set or defined roles in your bullpen going into spring training, or are all options on the table?
All options are on the table.
Okay. All right. So we'll watch it unfold for sure. Buster Posey, a few more minutes here with him as we go over this entire all-encompassing team. Everybody's fascinated. Tons of interest in the Giants. One of the guys who draws so much interest is there's nothing like a prospect, Buster, Bryce Eldridge. And, the big news that the beat reporters reported that he was on a backfield working out in left field. How serious is that? And how serious are his chances of making the opening day roster?
I give him taking fly balls in left field, I think, is a conversation he and Tony had a couple of weeks ago when he was down here getting some early work in. And I think as much as anything, it's like if we're going to stand out and shag during BP, let's see what it looks like. So I don't think that it's anything that's extremely pressing, but also you never know. There's a chance that Bryce goes out there and gets really comfortable, and then it opens up another door for him and for us. I don't anticipate that's something that we're going to push really hard. Still seeing in that first base type of DH role. And then as far as odds of making the team. I think we'll just see how spring training plays out. We'll monitor where we think he is, his progress that he continues to make in all facets of the game, and weigh that against what we think is best for his development long term.
There's this player performance index, this new thing that it incentivizes teams to call players up, because if he finishes like top 3 in MVP voting in the next 3 years or something like that, that you guys get an extra draft pick. Like they're trying to incentivize that. You, as president of baseball ops, how do you view that program? Is that something that you're like, hey, that's a good program and it does incentivize me to maybe lean towards Bryce making a team?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think about it that much. I mean, draft pick aside, it would be great if you have a player come up and play that well. I think anybody would take that performance regardless of the draft pick. So how much does it incentivize? It's hard to say. I mean, I think sitting here today looking at Bryce, I don't think any of us are going to feel like we forced something on him too soon. And that's not to say that, we come March 25th that he's not there and on the roster, but I don't think we're going to force him into action if we feel like it's not right for him, just for the chance to grab a draft pick.
Buster, you mentioned earlier in this interview the focus on improving defensively in the outfield with Elliot Ramos, bringing in Harrison Bader to play center field, which means Jung-Hoo Lee is going to be moving over to right field. Now, I know you spent some time this offseason out in Korea. Was that part of the trip, having those conversations with Jung-Hoo Lee, or how did he take the news about moving over from center field to right field?
So the trip out there had nothing to do with talking to him about that. But I will say he was a true pro about making the move. He gets it that it's he's a team player and wants whatever's going to be best for the team. So he took it great, and is already getting some work in, and he has experience there in the past. And Jung-Hoo's a team guy, and he's another one I'm really excited about, just because of injury a couple of years ago, and then last year, come back from injury, kind of feeling your way through a full season of a new league. Still, essentially, it was kind of a new league for him last year. So, high hopes for him, and I think he's going to be in a good spot.
Buster, I mean, so many things to ask. I know we got to let you go here, but just a couple more to squeeze in. One is, you mentioned Ron Washington earlier, and listen, he was with the A's for so many years. Many of us in the media dealt with him. We love him. He's one of the great talkers, one of the great baseball guys you could ever talk to. I think he's going to be on with Papa and Silver either today or tomorrow. But the other ironic thing is he was managing the 2010 Texas Rangers, so I don't know, do you hide the ring around him? How's the Buster Wash dynamic?
I've mixed in a few jabs. He takes it pretty well. No, he's great. You're right. I mean, I've never had a chance to really talk to him, and man, he's one of the treasures in the game, just because a wealth of knowledge, still just so tremendously passionate about baseball in general, but specifically, he's so confident in his work and preparation as far as getting infielders ready. And that's for where we are. I mean, I was talking to Matt Chapman a couple of days ago, and he was telling me a story about his first year with A's and how Wash had him out there 6:30 every morning, and they'd go through their routine and their drills. And Chappie, even at this point in his career, he's like, I know he's going to make me better even now. He's going to demand certain things out of me that maybe have slipped through the cracks. And so, like, when you have a veteran that has that type of respect for a coach, it's impossible for everybody else not to just fall in line. So we're thrilled to have him in the Giants uniform, and as you mentioned, I look forward to my interactions with him, because sometimes they come with laughs, and then sometimes it's just full on intensity. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I got to say, it's already great seeing those photos of him working with Luis Ariz and Bryce Eldridge and those type of guys. But, Buster, we also found out that he will not be coaching third base. Instead, it will be Hector Borg. How much of that decision is based on having guys like Ron Washington and Jace Tingler right next to Tony Vitello in the dugout for guys who have actually made those decisions and made those moves in real time?
Yeah, I think it's a big part of it. I mean, Tony, again, probably ad nauseum has been talked about, has no pro experience, has a lot of experience coaching, managing at the collegiate level. But, yeah, it's going to be important. It's going to be important to have Wash in there, Tingler in there to help him through, be sounding boards for him. One thing I do know about Tony is already is he's going to be decisive. He'll gather all the information. He'll gather the opinions, but ultimately he's going to make the call, and he'll live by whatever decision he makes.
Oh, man, so much fun talking ball. We'll hopefully get to do it with you again next week. I got to end it with one of the more underrated stories of the offseason. That is you guys and Randy Wynn's Rabbit's Foot getting you guys the number 4 pick in the draft. And Buster, you were the number 5 pick. We got one higher than you. Dude, I mean, I know Brian Matuz was taken 4th by the Orioles, I think, in that draft, and the Giants pounced. John Barr pounced on you. How excited were you by that? Are you already looking forward to the college baseball season? I mean, you can get a pretty significant player with the 4th pick, right?
It's exciting. I mean, when you get to pick that high in the draft, there's definitely opportunity to land a franchise-altering type of player. So, yeah, I mean, Michael Holmes and his group, regardless if we're picking 4th or, we hopefully are picking much later than that going forward. But it is really exciting. So, Holmesy and his amateur group do a tremendous job just with preparation and gathering information and background info on players. And I think as much as anything, when you're picking that high in the draft, it's not, I don't think it's going to be that hard to see talent. I think that the challenge is you want to really feel good about who the person is. And, that's where we're going to have to spend a lot of our time, because so much of baseball is between the years. And, I got to witness it firsthand. Players that I felt like were equally as talented or even more talented than me. Maybe it didn't pan out just because of one thing or another cropping up over the years. So we're excited. It's going to be fun, and having an opportunity to add that type of talent to our system is a great thing.
Yeah, Marty, people are already scouting. And unfortunately, there's no obvious Florida State Seminole up there, so we can't do that. But we'll see what you do. By the way, as it ended on that, did you guys see your alma mater secured a big commitment from Tiger Woods' kid to go play golf?
I did see that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it'll be interesting to see if Tiger's spending some time up there in Tallahassee. And I do have to give a little bit of love to another former Seminole in Cal Raleigh. What a year he had last year. And I'm biased. I think he should have taken home the MVP award. It's just too hard to sit behind the plate and put up those type of offensive numbers. So I'll end with that.
I remember we asked you about that last year, and I agreed with you. And then somebody actually presented me Aaron Judge's numbers. They were like Barry Bonds type numbers. Like, I think we're kind of sleeping.
I get it. But he's not sitting behind the plate.
He's not sitting behind the plate. I'm with you. The big dumper was pretty cool, man. All right. Well, listen, we're looking forward to you and Tiger. Yeah. Maybe in the owner, Mr. Johnson. He has a cool golf club. Maybe you guys could all get out there and play. All the Tigers played there a bunch. So I digress. Buster, it's great, man. All encompassing, and we can keep doing it. We'll try to chase you down when you're down there, and another week of news, and all the listeners appreciate you coming on and talking Giants baseball, as do we. So have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Buster.
All right, guys. Have a good one.